fill the void that you have, you know, or fill a space that you have. You
Mm-hmm.
want to be a whole person when you attach yourself to somebody else, not half a person looking for somebody to complete you.
Mm-hmm.
It's two holes. You know, you make a bigger hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not two halves make a hole. You know, and I've always said this too, like, you know, people are like, a relationship should be 50-50. No, a relationship should be 100-100.
Mm-hmm.
Each person should be putting in 100% for
Mm-hmm.
themselves and for the better cause.
Right.
We can juggle and we can balance, you know, whatever overlaps, but at the end of the day, I have to be able to stand on my own 2 feet by myself with nobody around. So do you. You know what I mean? And that's whether it's validation of the way you look, the way you feel, the work that you do, the effort you put in. You have to, at the end of the day, be able to accept who you are and what you've done and what you haven't done. Because if you don't, you're just going to be blaming other fucking people for what you haven't done or what you think you can't do. You know, it's like you got to hold yourself accountable.
Mm-hmm. That's is exactly what it is. Like people today, they take accountability as an attack.
Yeah, it's like you have to be able to fucking. Well, you know, like I noticed that you kind of been slacking. Well, what do you mean, you fucking asshole?
Yep. Yep.
It's like, well, do you want me to tell you, or you just want me to, you know, what I mean, you want to just live blindly? You
Right.
know, like you
And
got to
that's
be accountable.
that comes back to like just listening and creating that safe space. You know what I'm saying? Because like I am not going to sit here and pretend that like that I didn't do anything wrong to Chica with that night when I didn't communicate properly because I didn't. You know, I get that. It would have taken me 5 seconds to send a text saying, "Hey, I'm okay. Hey, this is
Right.
what's going on. Whatever." And I didn't do it. So I understand where she's coming from. And then when she was flipping out and being abrasive and all this stuff, my therapist talked about this, and he's like, "You want to know what you did wrong in that situation, because I pride myself in being able to de-escalate and stuff like that, but." In that situation, I wasn't de-escalating. There were some times where I retaliated what she said or whatever. But he's like, you did not make her feel safe to unload her feelings because you weren't listening. And I'm like, well, yeah, I was listening. She said this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. He's like, no, you weren't
You
listening.
heard it, but you didn't listen.
Exactly. Like
Difference.
she wasn't like he said what he's experienced with women is sometimes when they get upset, they think out loud. So like he's like, if you were listening to her, Adam, if you were listening to her, you would have realized that she wasn't attacking you. She was processing what had happened and trying to decide if you were a safe space for her or not because of what you did.
Right.
And what you did was you basically validated her and not feeling safe. Because she got attached too quick to you, and she was dependent on you to be that safe space for her. So when you did that one little thing that hinted that like you may not be or whatever, when she was on that edge, like, okay, do I continue to invest in this or do I run away now before I get hurt? You basically, with the way you responded to her, you told her to get away, to run away. So that's what she did. And then by the time she did that and you realized what had happened, she was gone. Because a woman is going to do that when they don't feel safe. They're going to lock down. They're going to think about their kid. They're going to think about them because nobody wants to repeat what they've been through.
Right.
Nobody wants to go through it again.
Well, especially if you in your own mind are telling yourself, you know what, I know exactly how this is going to play out, which is, again, a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, it's dangerous to assume in any situation, especially, again, like, if we're not talking about the same person, you can't say that they're going to act the same or that they,
Right. So, like, it's listening to the other people and it's listening to yourself. It's so scary to be with an artist and stuff like that because, like, we have a problem with giving ourselves to other people, because like when we are doing our art, we're in control. We feel safe there in our art space. So when you got this other person that's literally like grounded in reality, job, kid, bills, whatever, it's scary for us to give them that space because they could be here today, they could be gone tomorrow. But art is something that's stayed with us